Thank you, coach, and all the best in your next game.
Thank you very much.
And we're now joined by the coach of Madagascar, Coach Roro. Coach, you're playing Tanzania. What can we expect?
Donc coach, vous allez jouer contre la Tanzanie. Vous vous attendez à quoi pour ce match?
Honnêtement, je ne connais pas vraiment l'équipe tanzanienne, mais on va le découvrir aujourd'hui. Donc on va essayer de jouer notre jeu surtout. Voilà, c'est ça parce que c'est la première fois qu'on va jouer contre la Tanzanie dans cette équipe nationale.
So to be honest, it's my first time to play against Tanzania. I know nothing about this team. We will discover them today, and our main goal is to play our football like we always do. And yeah, we will check what they have, Tanzania have today.
And Tanzania last night played against South Africa in another province. Will that perhaps help you in some way?
Donc la Tanzanie a joué contre l'Afrique du Sud hier dans une autre province, c'est un autre tournoi. Ils les ont battus, alors peut-être que ça peut vous inspirer?
Oui, bien sûr. Moi, je pense qu'il n'y a pas de petite équipe. Moi, je pense, vu le championnat de la Tanzanie, c'est des championnats professionnels. Donc, moi, je considère que c'est une bonne équipe de Tanzanie. Mais on va essayer de les tenir le plus loin possible et de leur tenir en échec si possible.
Okay. Yes, I think that today in football we don't have small teams. Everyone can create a surprise, can surprise a big team. You know that in Tanzania they have a good championship, a good league with professional players, and I think that today we will see some of those players. And my goal today is to prevent them to come too close to our goalkeeper, and then we will try to score in front.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
You see? Let's now welcome the national team of Tanzania and Madagascar.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's all stand for the national team of Tanzania. And now, the national anthem of Madagascar.
Tanzania, Captain, picture first.
Captain. Picture. 3, 2, 1, smile. Coach, coach.
Hello, and Elfas, take your time. You've got 1.5 minutes.
Never shy your guys. Never shy your Never shy your
Good. You'll be going behind him. Just going to be along. Walk. Just walk. Elfas, just walk. Yes, no, that's the eye. That's the face.
From the peaks of Kilimanjaro to Madagascar's rugged shores, these two nations meet in Bloemfontein, where Africa's spirits run deep. It's the opening game of Group C in this year's HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup, with Tanzania returning to the competition, and not even 24 hours since their last encounter against Bafana Bafana. They open up the COSAFA Cup campaign against Madagascar here in Bloemfontein. Two teams have met on 3 previous occasions, with the head-to-head being relatively tied between the sides. This is an opportunity for both these sides to impress and to continue their preparations for the World Cup qualifiers and some of the other continental obligations in the near future. The stadium has been subject to some fixtures being played. Prior to this, we had South Africa taking on Zimbabwe, a Group A fixture in which South Africa winning by 2-0 makes that an interesting look of that Group A. This is the first game of Group C where you've got these two teams, as well as Eswatini, who'll be watching and hoping on to see what occurs here. Of course, Group C has only got 3 teams, and with a 3-team group always means that every single game is ever so important. Here comes movement now on this left. It's a foul that's by the 18-year-old Cristiano, one of the highly acclaimed footballers at the youth level of the game is Cristiano of CFFA. He just gets a touch there illegally, almost rugby push like that. And another foul by Madagascar. They've made a couple early on here. So for the Tanzanians, in terms of their starting 11, they've made quite a few alterations. 4 changes from their game last night against South Africa. The survivors in today's starting 11 include Ahmed Pipino, Suleiman up front, Pascal Msindo, Mohamed Ame in the back line, Waikenda, as well as Suleiman in the goal. So 7 players in total survived from yesterday's game against South Africa. then had to make the trip from Polokwane here to Bloemfontein. So we'll see how that affects them. 2 games in 2 consecutive days, and also the travel included in that means that Madagascar are definitely the better rested sides of the 2 coming into this one. Feitoto is dispossessed there, and here come Madagascar trying to ask the questions here through Cristiano. Puts one across the face of goal. It's gonna bobble here all the way to the other side, and anyway will do there for the centre half. It's gonna be definitely an interesting tie this year's COSAFA Cup. Hasn't produced all too many goals, including the South Africa game that played just a couple of hours ago now. We've got 7 goals scored in this year's competition. And this is the last of the match day 1 games, with all the other groups entering their second match days here in Bloemfontein. Laliana keeps that one alive to Mamisoa. Tries to ask something towards that right-hand side of Nicolas, but the Tanzanians have defended that one well. What's the call there? It stayed inside the parameters of pitch, and Madagascar want to come hard. A couple of protestations here from the Tanzanians. Let's see what occurred physically. So it's going to be a set piece then, yeah. Let's see what they've been working on set piece wise, this Madagascar side. For 13 COSAFA Cup appearances, their first one back in 2002 for the Madagascans. And their best COSAFA Cup finish was back 10 years ago, 3rd place in 2015, and that one's something from the training ground. Doesn't quite work out, and it's going to be ball for the Taifa Stars. Dex is all over there, the Fosca Juniors man, and 34-year-old. He'll bring all the experience into that midfield for Madagascar. Nicholas fouled. It's been a very messy game here early on, it must be said. Lots of fouls. Not much football being played in the first 5 minutes here. And it's another one of the Fosca Juniors men that is brought down. A couple of representatives from Fosca Juniors, a team that's in the first position at the moment in the Madagascar League. We've got 26 points after 11 games played. Here's one of the men in the back line. Has so much experience. It could fall favorably. Yeah, Dax, the captain, leaves it over. Big chance. That's for Tatafara. Just played so well there between those couple of forward players. They look for one another, and they get something at goal here to the Taifa Stars. It's 2 teams that, in terms of their FIFA rankings, not too far apart. Tanzania at 107 and Madagascar at 115. Of course, these games will have a big implication on those FIFA rankings as well. So that's something that the sides will have at the back of their heads, in addition to qualifying for the semis. Toto does well to hold that ball up. Now Mohamed Ame picks his head up. Nicholas keeps that in the parameters of play. These 2 teams have met one another before, but not in this type of format before, not ever before in the COSAFA Cup, in the HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup. A couple of World Cup qualifiers that they've played one another in, international friendlies, but this is a different stage, perhaps for different names to come out and shine for both sets of teams. For Madagascar, their most eminent and prominent goal at the moment is qualification for the FIFA World Cup in 2026. And Coach Martins, the 55-year-old Frenchman, is certain that he will be able to bring Barria to qualification in that particular competition. Of course, in terms of their group standings, they're sitting 3rd at the moment. Both players going up for it there. Contest between Mabula and Dux, the captain of Madagascar. There was Mabula into the starting 11 here today is the 21-year-old. Last time that they played one another, these two sides, it ended in a 1-1 draw. Oh, good layoff that. It's just well anticipated by the Tanzanian defense. Madagascar win it up the field of play. Raza Firmino goes for goal here. Tries to catch the goalkeeper out, but Yakub Suleiman, the emerging talent in Tanzanian football, knew where the ball was and knew most importantly where his goal was there. Number 9, Feno Hasima, tries to test the angle there. It's a very tough angle to get from that type of distance. So 7 goals so far, like I've said, scored in the competition. It was 5 before the South Africa game. It's been relatively low scoring this competition, a couple of draws as well in the group games. Particularly there was one today earlier in the game between Mozambique and Mauritius. It was Mauritius' second draw. Okay, Swatini will be watching this group with particular interest. Only 3 teams, and the Tanzanians, interestingly, only qualifying after Morocco pulling out of the tournament. And they've been put on the ropes here by Madagascar. It's another foul in Tanzania half. Got the beating of his mark, and then it's Mabula that's just leaning in and making that challenge. Quite a lunge in from the central defensive midfielder. Their previous set piece, we saw what they did. They tried to play it short, something from the ground. This time they're going to go the aerial route, and perhaps it'll yield some dividends. South Africa scored from a similar set piece where they were able to conjure up the cross wall, and Ime Okon was at the end of it. Here's Nicholas Toki back to the right centre back, who recycles it, not afraid to restart Madagascar. But they've had the lion's share of possession in terms of the first 10 minutes here, and he's seen lots of it. The right centre back. Tanzania now will get a rare opportunity to attack. There was a goalless draw yesterday in Polokwane for the Tanzanians. But a more worrying statistic from their perspective will be the fact that then it amounts to about 4 or 5 games where they haven't been able to find the back of the net. They will get a set piece now. Faye Toto on top of it. He dings one. The destination is that box, and the Fossa Juniors man headers it away. They're going to roll with the ball and try to come at the counter. Msindo left on the ground, and they're going to try to attack right down that right side channel. Good bit of intra passes this. Men flying all over there, and Dux, the captain, gets a chance. The second header. Was it Eustace? Is he offside in any case? I think that's what the striker thought there, Feno Hasima. 21-year-old has it safe in his hands. An interesting stat then about this Tanzanian team. Then it's a very young team for Tanzania. The average age is approximately 21.5 years for the Tanzanians. Pascal Msindo onto it again and looks around for options. That's a good enough touch. Turn. Not bad of an option that from the man up front. Looks to open up ever so slightly there. Just leans back when he's about to take the shot. It's a very good movement from the left back. Eswatini are the other side in this group. 0-0 so far here. Many bookies fancy that this won't have too many goals in it either. Tanzania are going to profit here from that corner. It's got a bit of pressure from Lusajo Mwaikenda. But it's a very young side, like I was telling you. The average age is about 21.5 years old. And another interesting thing is they've got 7 players from the under-20 side that played in the recent Cup of Nations. So there's a clear intention by Coach Suleiman to start giving those young players a bit of a feel of what the big stage of international football looks like. The under-20s for Tanzania didn't win a game at the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations, finishing bottom of the group that would eventually be topped by eventual winners South Africa. But 7 of those young players have got a chance to impress at this COSAFA Cup. And well, of course, they have qualified for the upcoming Cup of Nations as well. So it'll also be an opportunity for some of those players down there to leave a real impression on the coach when selection time comes. Scooped up, it's going to go to the opposite goalkeeper. Their first real feel of the ball, that for Tanzania. You feel that there was a spell of first 10 minutes where they were really on the ropes. But now it seems like they've been able to calm the game of the tempo a tad bit down. But Cristiano, what a movement here, and the goalkeeper's out brilliantly. It's still at Madagascar feet. Across now to the left-hand side, floats over that box, and there's no green shirts at the end of it. Well, that could have been the first real scare of the game, and this young 18-year-old could have made his mark. It's a good turn, and then he's on his bike, and the goalkeeper just anticipates it so well, does Yaqub Suleiman. The last winner between these sides in a game between themselves was Tanzania, 3-2. The very first game played between the sides was won by Madagascar. So the scale is quite evenly tipped here tonight in Bloemfontein. There's no script, only raw passion and the will to go to the next round. Oh, the intra passes have been beautiful from this Madagascar team. Laina stays on his bike and takes it right to the by now. Oh, it's sprint movement. That does he keep it in play. Clean footwork, evades a couple of players there, does the CFFA man. Morocco, of course, pulling out of the competition means that Tanzania were then invited to this showpiece as one of the East African sides, and very happy to take that opportunity up. They've had a busy calendar. They will, of course, host as well the upcoming CHAN alongside Kenya in the month of August. So as well, you've got to think that there's lots of chances for the players to prove themselves. Cristiano cuts that one out. Now, up the field they go. Numbers favoring them. Chance here for Tanzania. The goalkeeper keeps a hold of it. Mishamo Michael was almost in behind there. The Tanzanian number 7 of Ken Gold, TH. And look at that, they just have the defense wide open just for a moment in time, and the goalkeeper does so well to read that, reads it like a book. The ball rolls again. It's been a high tempo game. It's a foul by Mabula. Man that plays his football in the Azerbaijan Premier League. The anchor of that midfield for Tanzania. Often really plays such a big role in cleaning up that midfield, and see the strength that he's got there. But this young man is proving to be a real headache so far for the Tanzanian defense. He's been running at them, the movement's been fluid. It's been guided movement as well by the young player. It's another set piece, this time slightly different angle. It's here on towards the left here. Let's see this time what they work on. Is the 34-year-old on top of it. His club is right at the top of the Premier Division. Ducks. It's a clip-like ball to that far stick. Still interested is Laliana. Toki wins a set piece for Madagascar. They played their first COSAFA tournament in Madagascar back in 2002 when they narrowly lost on penalties to South Africa in the quarterfinals, having ousted Mauritius 3-2 in their very first game. They reached their quarterfinals again the year after. Another victory over Mauritius, but then suffered 4 first-round exits in a row. This year, they're looking for a different feat to go all the way, and they've certainly got the experience. They experienced the hard way, the tough way. As Dax clips it with that corner, testing set piece, it's cleared away. It remains at Madagascar feet. Tadafara to Nicholas. Beautiful switch ball. It's a cross-like game at the moment. It's been evenly contested as we slowly approach the 20-minute mark here. Both teams definitely up for it, an expectant crowd. It's been a decent watch this year, this evening. Three kickoffs here today. COSAFA Cup really has excited and brought some life to the City of Roses once again. Tadafara. Decision time for him to make. Handball, says the referee. It's a clever little touch that by the 21-year-old Laliana. He's already sliding in. There's been a couple of set pieces in the game, especially round about these areas, as Cristiano puts it now inside, lays another one off to Toki, and Tanzania do enough defensively. It was a very good outing for them defensively as well yesterday against Bafana. It was a vanilla game, though, it must be said. That game played in Polokwane. There's a clip there. And Faye Toto. Eswatini will be in action for the first time on Monday. They will take on Madagascar, so Madagascar are back again in the Monday 3 o'clock kickoff. Pascal Msendo. Nangu, one of the younger players in this side, is hoofs it into the air. That's one way of getting the pressure up the field and getting your centre forward to get movement like that. Good holding and feeling of the leather there to draw in the foul from Simon Msao. The man that plays his football out at the Iraqi Premier League is one of the most experienced Tanzanian players on the park, is the skipper. 7-7. Look at that, 14 fouls in the space of 22 minutes. It's been a real hustle out there this evening. Ducks. Winds and shoots. Oh, it's a good shot, Cristiano! Oh! Just past the bar, that, and he knows just how close that was to breaking the deadlock here early on. It must be said, if there's a team that's looked more likely of the two, it has been Madagascar. And that perhaps the biggest chance of all of them in the game. So tough to hit it on that volley, but does so well. The only missing tick box there was the target, and if he hit that, he probably would have scored. So 0-0, but nothing shy of entertainment just yet, I think. There has been somewhat goal-mouth action, mostly from a Madagascar perspective. Tanzania still playing the calm football. Lots of young players, like I've said, 7 from their under 20 side. He's no youngster to the game though. Simon. Mohamed Ame. And it's Madagascar foul. Number 8. They've played an intense brand of football here, have Madagascar. Suleiman, the head coach, also takes charge of the under 20 side of things for Tanzania. So no surprise that he's gone for such a youthful look to the side. Tarafara. Lots of set pieces. One of them surely's got to give. That one's landed right on that right side. Ducks is going to have another shot at goal. Takes a couple of deflections. The firepower's long dwindled out of that ball before it gets to the box. So for this Madagascar team, they've played 36 games in total in their COSAFA Cup record. Of those, they've won 14 of the 36, losing 15, drawing 7. They scored 39 goals and equally conceded 39 goals in their COSAFA Cup endeavors. So in terms of goal scoring, it's sort of been neutral. The overall effects equalized. If there was a goal difference, it would be 0. For Tanzania, they've played 13 COSAFA Cup games out of their 3 tournaments. Their best finish was 3rd back in 2017. They haven't been back since. And this type of group means that you come out on top and you've got an automatic ticket to that third or fourth place, because you'll be playing in a semi-final if you come out top of this group. Players haven't been shy to go into those type of challenges today. They've really put there and played for their badges here this evening. Lalaina. Nicholas. Good opening up now on this right side, and Wilson Nangu does his job defensively. He's such a valiant soldier in that back four is Wilson Nangu, the 18-year-old, partnering the older and experienced Mohamed Ahmed. Makes it an interesting centre-back pairing for the Tanzanians. Nangu, it's off him there, and it's cleared away eventually by Ahmed. Nicholas on the ropes of Tanzania, and they're going to have a shot here. From range, they haven't been afraid to shoot from far, but nothing's really challenged Yakub Suleiman. Mamisoa, the 22-year-old there, uses all the power he's had. He sees that he has a bit of space and just tries to hit the pile driver. That ball's evaded him. It's Tanzania now that gets a chance to attack. Msindo. Wilson Nangu. Oh, that's cut out. Brilliant work. Now they could be wide open. Cristiano is sprinting towards that right side. Goal! Brilliantly executed by Turkey. And Madagascar hit the lead here against Tanzania in the COSAFA Cup. It's such brilliant work there by Toki Naina. A 24-year-old gets a very important goal that we thought he would have made the pass. Cristiano was moving on that right side. So much power, so much conviction. He was sure in himself. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did exactly that, which was bury the ball. Look at that, so many options, and it's the correct one. It was the path less chosen. Many would have slid it across the face of goal, but it's a brilliantly executed move. And it must be said, all the pressure that Madagascar have exerted in this game has paid off. And it's such a brilliant cushion finish that they've been the better side in this 29 minutes. And that's a goal well deserved. It's 1-0 Madagascar. In the first Group C game and final game of match day 1 in the COSAFA Cup. Eswatini will be watching, taking notes, because they've got Madagascar up next on Monday. Tanzania will have a big break, then they'll be in action once again on Wednesday. So then they'll get the rest, perhaps, that they've lacked. They've got an opportunity to reply immediately through a set piece here. Faye Toto over at a packed box. Lots of movement, and the referee is watching. There's video assistant referee that's watching as well, but they roll over one another like a cheap suit. The referee tries to restore the borders. Faye Toto now gets ready to send the ball to the ball. Oh, big chance. Another one here. And it's going to be a counter opportunity. Green shirts moving. And Msindo, so cool and calm defensively. The 21-year-old from Azam FC. This young man also played some minutes yesterday in the game for Bafana, but clever little movements that to try and get the goalkeeper on the near post to up the pitch again. Tanzania looked like that goal has suddenly brought them to life. This Madagascar team is largely dominated by home-based players. Only 2 players play outside of their shores, Mabula and Msuva. And all of them homegrown. Clipped over the top. Oh, Msuva's been all over Mabula, rather. And he makes the foul that time on Mamisoa. It's anchor midfield versus anchor midfield there. CDM against CDM. Here's Mamsoa. Tadafara. It's Mamsoa. Madagascar, really, this is such good movement and it's good profits. And another goal, goalkeeper out again. And Akub Suleiman does his job. This goalkeeper was one of the players that played also in that under-20 Cup of Nations. And he's really making a mark for himself. Msuva pulls it back. Another man is there. Tanzania power it. It's very Toto. That just puts sheer laces behind that ball. Looks like this one's got plenty of goals in it. Looks like it's got plenty of potential. I don't think by the time we get out of here later this evening, it will still be a 1-0 scoreline. Ducks. All the experience, and you can see it. It shows in how he plays. Look at that type of ball. 52-48 possession. Interestingly then, it's so close, and it's so close that in fact Tanzania have had a tad bit more of the ball. Certainly won't feel like they've had that lion's share of the ball. 52-48 is very, very close because they've been attacked so frequently. That's why. And they're going to need to defend once again here. Does the flag stays down. Msindo is back defending, but it was offside anyway. It was Feno Hasima Razafemaro. Close, very close. So for Tanzania, this is their 4th appearance overall. And they are behind on their opening game here. Good looking ball that was. And there's a foul on the central defensive midfielder. It's been such a physical game. It's demanded so much from those players out there today, physically. The tie. Nicholas, very quick utility back, able to do exactly that. Torn back by jersey number 8, Pipino, one of the young players, and that pass is a very lazy one from Mabula that could have led to inadvertent results for Tanzania. Tanzania slightly ahead in terms of the overall FIFA rankings, 8th place above Madagascar. That could change at the end of this tournament in about 8 days' time. It's very Toto that requires some attention here. Back up on his feet almost immediately, the attacking midfielder for Tanzania. 26-year-old also plays for Azam FC, and is a midfielder that's known very well for his creative passing ability. Seen bits and pieces of it here already. I really like this coach. He was appointed officially to the head coach position back on the 30th of January this year. He'd already started taking charge of the side already last year late. I remember there were some World Cup qualifiers played at Loftus Fairfield against Tunisia, where the coach was in charge. And already then you could sense that he had a good project going with the side. So I think they're going to have to replace Toto here, Islam Salum Toto. So change made very, very early on here. Jersey number 10 making his way on for Tanzania. That belongs to Sheikhan Kamis. Well, Sheikhan Kamis will come exactly also into that midfield. It's actually a like-for-like change with Kamis now coming through. So edging towards our half-time break, about 8 minutes away from there. But it's been a flowing game. There's been lots of challenges, fouls, but apart from that, I think the ref has allowed the game to flow, and it's been a good watch of football. And the happier of the two teams at the moment will be Madagascar. Decent touch that, and now they're going to try to ask those questions. Coming through now is the captain, and safety first. Textbook defending that from Claude. The Disciples, man, they were the winners of the Premier League last year, was Claude and his home-based side. Nangu. Cut out, brilliant. Defensively, they've watched so well defensively, and now they're going to get this little speedster onto his bike. It was opening up towards that right, but the movement stopped right in time. Now they're going to be counter-attacked themselves. Msuva cuts inside. It's dangerous and silly work that by Dadafara, and he's going to be the first player carded today. Jersey number 17 goes into the books. The 30-year-old, lots of experience, does Tentley. He plays at CFFA Madagascar. Currently 7th in the log standings. I guess he was afraid that once Msuva was able to fully cut inside, then we'd be talking a completely different story. So he just felt to stop the movement before it became anything more problematic. But they've got an ancillary issue here. It's another problem. It's Kamis, the young Africans player, coming on now as a substitute. Here he is, Kamis, 19 years old, jersey number 10. I think he wants to curl this one into the back there. There's reinforcements there at the back, almost trench warfare like, so as to say whatever happens, we've covered all our bases. So Ibrahim Kamis over this one. Looks like a man that wants to do business. It's going to be Kamis! The goalkeeper had it well watched. So unlike Tanzania, Madagascar have got 3 times COSAFA Cup experience than their opponents. Today they've played in 12 previous of these competitions. And it's that experience I was telling you about earlier on that may see them do the business here. On his bike now, hand moving, his jersey number 20 and the goal scorer, Tokyo. Kamis has a leg out there. He's playing a little bit deeper than we expected as well. Fenoasima. Nicholas. Brilliant ball, and he's onside. How about this? It's the striker. He's bullied off the ball by Wilson Nangu, by an 18-year-old at that too. But Madagascar have won the ball again. Tokyo. Msindo has defended that one adequately. But look at this high press. They're not letting them breathe out of there, Madagascar. And perhaps that's also been a bit of the tactic. They've pressed high. haven't let the foot go off that accelerate here today, have Barea. To such an extent that Msindo has to revert to trying to juggle the ball and then hoof it out like that. Good movement. Now, this is Msuva that's been taken down in a dangerous position for Tanzania. And I tell you what, he's been the magnet of all the set pieces. He's been causing all the headaches there at the back. And if he carries on playing like this, he may just cause a real problem. He got the left back booked, and now he's got the right back also into the books. Nicholas, the Force Juniors man, enters into the referee's book as the second player carded. So of the back four, 2 of them are now inside the book. Had a set piece momentarily ago, did the Tanzanians, and now it looks like they're setting up for something different. It was the young Kasim that had the previous one, and this time Simon Msuva says he's going to take it himself. Msuva in the previous COSAFA Cup had 2 goals for Tanzania back in 2017. That's the longevity that this man has had. Simon Msuva! Over the bar. Nothing challenging the goalkeeper there. So, how many minutes are going to be added on here towards the end? Let's see. But Madagascar's goal, like I've said, is the qualification for 2026 World Cup. He wants to take them to a first World Cup, does the coach. 1 additional minute added. Like I've said, a free-flowing game of football, not many stoppages, so only 60 seconds here towards the end of the first period. And that's a very lackluster pass. Many of them have looked not too strong, the passes made to the back by Tanzania. Turkey, the target for that. Here's Mwikenda. Mabula for Tanzania. He's been involved in lots of them. He hasn't been shy to go into the challenges. That looked a little bit offside. Turned out it wasn't. On his feet. He says this is the first time that he plays Tanzania. Says he doesn't know, he hasn't experienced them before. But for the first time, participants of the test, for the first 45 minutes, he's done pretty decently. And that is how things end in the first 45 minutes here between Tanzania and Madagascar. It's been a game that's largely been dominated by Madagascar. They've had the lion's share of the ball, the better of the opportunities. Tanzania are a team that's had to travel and play in the space of the last 23 hours, so perhaps that is the impact. But at the Toyota Stadium today, we've seen 3 goals scored, 2 by South Africa, 1 now here by Madagascar to add to the goal tally of the COSAFA Cup and take it up to 8. But after the first 45 minutes, it's Madagascar 1, Tanzania 0. Here are the numbers then from the first half. 7 goal attempts. Interestingly, they have the same amount of shots on target, 3-3. Madagascar just being more clinical. The shot accuracy has been better for Tanzania, but still everything to play for in the second half. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Rồi lấy vô.
We've got 26 points after 11 games played. Here's one of the men in the back line. Has so much experience. It could fall favorably. Yeah, Dax, the captain, leaves it over. Big chance. That's for Tatafara. Oh, good layoff. That's just well anticipated by the Tanzanian defense. Madagascar winning up the field of play. Raza Firmino goes for goal, yeah. Tries to catch the goalkeeper out, but Yakub Suleiman, the emerging talent in Tanzanian football, knew where the ball was and knew most importantly where his goal was there. Number 9, Feno Hasima. Pascal Msindo. Onto it again and looks around for options. That's a good enough touch. Turn. Not bad of an option that from the man up front. Looks to open up ever so slightly there. Just leans back when he's about to take the shot. It's a very good movement from the left back. A spell of first 10 minutes where they were really on the ropes, but now it seems like they've been able to calm the game of the tempo a tad bit down. But Cristiano, what a movement, yeah, and the goalkeeper's out brilliantly. It's still at Madagascar feet. Across now to the left-hand side, floats over that box, and there's no green shirts at the end of it. Well, that could have been the first real scare of the game, and this young 18-year-old could have made his mark. It's a good turn, and then he's on his bike, and the goalkeeper just anticipates it so well. Players to prove themselves. Cristiano cuts that one out. Now, up the field they go. Numbers favoring them. Chance here for Tanzania. The goalkeeper keeps a hold of it. Mishamo Michael was almost in behind there. The Tanzanian number 7 of Ken Gold, TH. And look at that. They just have the defense wide open just for a moment in time. And the goalkeeper does so well to real hustle out there this evening. Ducks. Winds and shoots. Oh, it's a good shot, Cristiano. Oh. Just past the bar that, and he knows just how close that was to breaking the deadlock here early on. It must be said, if there's a team that's looked more likely of the two, it has been Madagascar. And that perhaps the biggest chance of all of them in the game. So tough to hit it on that volley, but does so well. Partnering the older and experienced Mohamed Ahmed makes it an interesting centre-back pairing for the Tanzanians. Nangu, it's off him there and it's cleared away eventually by Ahmed. Nicholas on the ropes of Tanzania, and they're going to have a shot here. From range, they haven't been afraid to shoot from far, but nothing's really challenged Yakub Suleiman. Mamisoa, the 22-year-old there, uses all the power he's had. He sees that he has a bit of space and just tries to hit the pile driver. Wilson Nangu. Oh, that's cut out. Brilliant work. Now they could be wide open. Cristiano is sprinting towards that right side. Goal! Brilliantly executed by Turkey. And Madagascar hit the lead here against Tanzania in the COSAFA Cup. It's such brilliant work there by Toki Naina, a 24-year-old. Gets a very important goal that we thought he would have made the pass. Cristiano was moving on that right side. So much power, so much conviction. He was sure in himself. He knew what he wanted to do, and he did exactly that, which was bury the ball. Look at that, so many options, and it's the correct one. It was the path less chosen. Many would have slid it across the face of goal, but it's a brilliantly executed move. And it must be said, all the pressure that Madagascar have exerted in this game has paid off. And it's such a brilliant cushion finish that they've been the better side in this 29 minutes. And the referee tries to restore the borders. Feitoto now gets ready to send the ball to the ball. Oh, big chance. Another one here. And it's going to be a counter opportunity. Green shirts moving. And Msindo, so cool and calm defensively. The 21-year-old from Azam FC. This young man also played some minutes yesterday in the game for Bafana, but clever little movements that to try and get the goalkeeper on the near post to up the pitch again. This goalkeeper was one of the players that played also in that under-20 Cup of Nations. And he's really making a mark for himself. Msuva pulls it back. Another man is there. Tanzania power it. It's Feitoto. That just puts sheer laces behind that ball. Looks like this one's got plenty of goals in it. Looks like it's got plenty of potential. Looks like a man that wants to do business. It's going to be Kamis. The goalkeeper had it well watched. Good movement. Now, this is Msuva that's been taken down in a dangerous position for Tanzania. And I tell you what, he's been the magnet of all the set pieces. He's been causing all the headaches there at the back. And if he carries on playing like this, he may just cause a real problem. He got the left back booked, and now he's got the right back also into the books. Nicholas, the Fossa Juniors man, enters into the referee's book as the second player carded. So of the back four, 2 of them are now inside the book. They had a set piece momentarily ago, did the Tanzanians, and now it looks like they're setting up for something different. It was the young Kasim that had the previous one, and this time Simon Msuva says he's going to take it himself. Msuva in the previous COSAFA Cup had 2 goals for Tanzania back in 2017. That's the longevity that this man has had. Simon Msuva! Over the bar. Nothing challenging the goalkeeper there. Here's how the benches look at the half. It still impacts the game, especially from a Tanzanian's perspective. You've got Paul Adams still on that bench, Miraji Hassan, as well as Stambuli, who could still come on. And then for Madagascar, look at that, a full bench. Lots of young players, some 21-year-olds, eager and interested to come in and make their marks known. So it's a Tanzanian team that may have been traveling for half the day today to come here today, but there is room for alternation if need be. Some names to look out for from that Madagascar bench. You've got Onanjaina Asindrina in that jersey, number 11. Very quick on that wing is Patrick, 30-year-old of Elgos Plus. He could come on and really impact the game, as well as jersey number 14. I've enjoyed the look of him. He's an old veteran defender, perhaps just to provide that aerial strength and keep out the Tanzanians that will definitely keep coming at them vividly. We've also got the young jersey number 22, 24 and 28-year-old between some of the players that still need to come on for Madagascar. So it's a bit of a good headache that the coach has got. Both coaches with equal pedigree on both sets of benches that could still come and change and shake up things here at the Toyota Stadium. Got that experience, have Tanzania. 2 goalkeepers as well make up that bench. Of course, they have already brought on Sheikhan Kamis as well as Mishamo Michael. So Sheikhan Kamis, we'll see how they do. Mishamo Michael, in fact, started the game rather. It was meant to be started by Suleiman Mwalimu. Right here, no longer even involved in that bench. So it's a first half that they definitely can be proud of, the Barria. That they'll be looking to go better, go harder, and put the seal on this victory. Of course, it's 3 teams. There's no room to fault, no room for error. No room for error with only 3 teams in this one. But the other side of the coin is that if you play well in your first game and win your first game, you've got a pretty smooth running until the semis. You've got to win 1 more, get some points there, and you're top of the group. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword being in a group with less teams. It can go either way, but the second 45 is underway here at the Toyota Stadium in this first Group C game. Madagascar leading by a goal to 0 here against Tanzania. And they could get another one quickly. Tokyo was moving. Prince Msindo has been a resolute feature there in that back 4 for Tanzania. Lots of attacking has come from his side of things. Michael calls that it had gone out, but referee says it remained in the parameters of the park. Touch that and it's going to yield a set piece. Ahmed Pipino, 19-year-old young man, born in only 2005. "20 years later, he's playing in the cup, in the COSAFA Cup." So it looks like they've come with a renewed sense of purpose, Tanzania, into this second half. Msindo, the Azam FC man, one of 6 Azam FC players, is also over this one. Idi Ada also there, another Azam man, and that's a decent ball into the box. Oh! Calls for a corner kick from a Tanzanian point of view. Ref looks away. The Taifa Stars knocking, huffing and puffing. The goalkeeper stays down, does Michel, the 39-year-old of Elgo Plus, or Gecko Plus, in the Pro League. His side sits in 4th place at the moment in the log standings. In terms of his domestic outings, the goalkeeper has conceded about 8 goals domestically. Oh, that looked dangerous. That was dangerous. And the captain, look at the agony on his face. He knows just how close that was to seeing the net nestle. So some supporters in the building. The City of Roses is buzzing when football is around. When the football comes to this town, it's always really brings the community together. There's a real buzz if you're here with us in Bloemfontein at the moment. Mabula. Flicked on header, that's for the skipper. Of course, 2 players into the referee's book in terms of that first 45, which are both the wide backs for Madagascar. Could be trouble once again here for one of them. Safely plays it back to the breadbasket of the goalkeeper. These sides have in fact played each other one more time in the COSAFA Cup. In fact, it was back in that 2015 edition. A campaign really to forget from a Tanzanian perspective. They didn't win a single group game. Went up in the group stages in 2015. But every sort of second time they come, every other time they come, they seem to do well. Because if you look at their outings here, they were 4th in their first campaign. When they came back in 2017, they exited in the group, and then they came 3rd in 2017. So perhaps this is the season that they don't make it out of the group. Well, that's what the matrix tells us, the history. We'll have to see. Football is played down there on the pitch and not in the books. There's Michael there. Here's Mabula. Looks for Msuva, who's going to win this race, it appears. Brilliant defending. Defended really like a soldier there. Tournament has graced South African territory a couple of times now. It's a favorable destination, this tournament. Looks to be one of a kind as well. In a continental calendar that's so packed, the Chan as well comes up in August, and then you've got the Cup of Nations right towards the end. And in between that, there's also a Women's Africa Cup of Nations that begins next month, that is. And Tanzania are prepping for the big one, the Cup of Nations, December. They want to make their mark known. Mabula does good work to win that one back. Sindo. This is Michael. Still, this is the young man. Ho! Good save, powerful shots that by Ibrahim. This young man that's come on and he's definitely been fouled as the young Africans come in. 2005 born youngster. Set piece for Tanzania, the Taifa Stars. Let's see what they do. It's the versatile midfielder, Edinado, also of Azam FC. That's gonna try to put a testing delivery here to the box. The 29-year-old. His club currently sits 3rd in the Tanzanian Premier League. I think once again they're all over each other like rashes in that box, and the referee is keeping a very close eye on the movement in the box. So here comes the ball. It's a powerful header away by Claude. Back to Nado. options, but he's going to go right back into that box where all the numbers are. And it was the young Wilson Nangu who had the last touch on that, on its way goalwards, goal bound. All the numbers were there, and it's Nangu that rises the highest to that ball. Scooped up the way of Cristiano. This was a young man that was moving at a speed of 120 consistently in that first half. It's inviting movement here towards the shot. It hits the bar. Ho, ho, ho. If that had gone in, I think the Turtaroo Stadium would have blown off. Nado stays on his feet, although he can't resist the second challenge. So imagine that had caused something somewhat of an upset. Testing, I'm not sure that's what he intended, as a matter of fact. And another member of the technical team goes into the book. Every single player that's been carded, including ones that are not on the pitch and not even players, have been from Madagascar, but they could be in again. Yeah, Toki. Has been the real thorn in the opposition, this young man. And he's going to win the ball up the pitch for his side. Second Madagascar goal would equal that 2015 game when these sides met one another. And it's flicked on by Feno Asima. Out it goes. Makeshift header, whatever works, put your head on it and get it away. I think that was the philosophy there from the Madagascar man. Cristiano's back and defending and commits a foul. Madagascar were last at this competition back in 2022. They're in trouble here. Over the bar from Idinada. He knows it was a big chance. At least half he could have done there was hit the target. Flicked on header, really good work, and then the clearance from Claude hits it one time. It's looked so much better, so much more promising for Tanzania in this second half. 10 minutes in to the second period. It's still the one goal that Madagascar, slim advantage that they lead by here in this first Group C encounter. Clipped over the top. It's been very optimistic movement for Tanzania. Back to the feet of the defense, but they're going to get it straight up the pitch. Mabula, can he keep it in play? No is the answer. So we come with games to you thick and hard. The games really are relentless in tournament-style competition. Tomorrow we have Angola and Lesotho that have the midday kickoff. Desire for football. He was one of the players that played in the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations. Brilliant technical ability as well for the young man. And you can see his coach trusts these players. But an interesting point I wanted to mention then, there's 6 players from Azam FC, lots of young players as well, but there's no surprise. Their youth team is doing very well at the moment. They were the winners of the NBC Youth League in Tanzania. They were crowned champions now a couple of weeks ago, 29th of May, just over a week and a half ago now. The Azam FC youth side. So it explains the strong youth presence. It explains the 6 players. He's a guy that's believing in the future. Here he is, Kemis. That's the goal scorer, Toki. Took it so well, the goal that he scored in the first half, and he's been the difference so far here in this game. Playing almost in the front 2. I think the way it was given to us, it was supposed to be 3 up front, but yeah, he's there. He's on that right-hand side, and he's definitely been a headache to the opposition. For Madagascar, they've kept 9 clean sheets then, interestingly, in their COSAFA endeavors, which equates to keeping a clean sheet in 25% of their matches. So we'll see whether today can increase that percentage. That's a brilliant looking ball. Torquay is moving. Here come the afterburners. Cut back. Who is there? Oh, it was Cristiano, but it was so well defended by the central defensive midfielder. Mabula puts his body on the line like a real true soldier there. Good movements down this right channel here. And there he is, Mabula. Oh, and then it just ricochets off Feno Hassim Razafimaro. Ducks. Picks it up again. Now Cristiano may be through inside the box, but the defending is good as it should have been from Moikenda. I've liked the look of that 18-year-old youngster for CFFA. His team currently 7th in the Pro League in Madagascar. They're developing a really strong youth presence as well, are the Madagascans. I think I recall last year, in one of the under-17 lady competitions, they actually went a pretty long way, knocking out even the hosts, South Africa. So there's a system that's developing, and it looks to be steady development and real progressive development. You're seeing the results right at the top of the game, at least for the first 62 minutes here. But already, when the coach took over last year, you could see the early signs of what he was trying to do with the team. They put up a really big fight in one of their qualifiers against Tunisia late last year. Did Madagascar. Foul by Lalaina. Haven't seen too much of him in the second period. In the first half, he was causing all sorts of problems up there for Madagascar. Flicked on here to that from Suva. Nicholas into his stride and happy to run and move just like that. And he wins a set piece for Madagascar in their own territory. The second most represented team in this Tanzanian outfit is JKT Tanzania. They sit in 6th position in the Tanzanian Premier League. They've got 3 players that are represented here today and in this competition. And then you've got KMC that have 2 players. Musaj also have 2 players. But here is movement, and a desperate shot that from Kamis is going to win a corner. Takes the last touch of the youngest player on the park for Madagascar. Up now it comes. Tokyo, counter-attack. Lots of shirts moving. Of course, you bet that Cristiano is one of them as well. But the reinforcements are coming through now. Here's Raza Firmino. It's all by himself. Tries to play a clever one to the right. Attack amounts to nothing. Kasim. They've got some young players as well, this Tanzanian team. 17 years old is the man right up front. Like I gave you that average. It's an average of 21.5 years. So look at this team in a couple of years' time, and I think they'll be very well off just with the... You give young players a chance and they'll give you something. Infringements up front as they venture forward. Double change here then for Tanzania. Idrissa Stambuli to make his way on. And that's jersey number 15. We'll see what he can do. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a triple change here. Stambuli, one of them. Hassan, another. All young players. Hassan, 20 years old, the defender born in 2004 of Coastal Union FC. And then Paul Adam is the final of the three changes made here for Tanzania. So let's see. Let's see what they made of. Oh, but they've lost the ball. Oh, Cristiano! That could have been two. He'll feel it probably should have been two. Puts pressure. Lackluster defending. This kid is a real headache. He's got a bright future though. He's lively, he's exciting to watch, and he wants to play. It's always nice to watch players like that and really take it on and make it theirs. Madagascar jersey number 13. Nanadaina Mika to make his way on, the CFFA 21-year-old. So one of the young under 20 defender is the jersey number 13, and jersey 21, Ryan for Disciples FC. He was a league winner last year in Madagascar, was Ryan Henry. The young man born 2001 and a 23 experience. So they're bringing on, I've liked the look of this competition. It's got some young players. You've got the likes of McCarthy for Bafana. Then you've got a whole host of young players all over, and Damani. Shabalala, I mean. So good youthful factor to the sides. So Madagascar with the set piece. Once again, the referee now puts his hands down and says, I see it again, and the cards are going to start flying. Cristiano, not the type of delivery you would have envisioned, but it's hit anyway by Mamisoa. Puts power behind that nonetheless, doesn't mind.
Yes. No, for Tanzania, we've only got one more.
Brilliant move here by Michael. Nicholas reads him well. It was just overplayed that you could see. Takes a bit of an extra touch. Does the centre forward. Now the pressure starts to mount for Tanzania is when they're going to need to hold tight. Most of the goals in the competition come round about these times. About I think a good 40% of the goals we've seen have been scored in minutes 70 plus. So this is where the game has proven to come to life. Kasim, a man is down, but they're playing anyway. The Taifa Stars. Now the referee sees Mishamo Michael. He's going to go pay attention to the jersey number 7. It's been a headache. He's caused some problems up there. This 17-year-old of Ken Gold FC. It's a lower division club, but he's a young man that's definitely making his mark known. 17 years old would make him one of the youngest players on the park today. But look at that, 34 fouls committed in this game. I think this must be one of the highest of this COSAFA Cup this year. And that's the man, that's the difference so far. And that is the moments in which he sent the island country into rapture. And got a goal that would have been felt all throughout the shores of Madagascar. 46 possession. They haven't even had most of the ball, but they'll feel that they haven't needed most of the ball here today of Madagascar. They've had Tanzania right where they want them. So I'm hearing in my ear that a couple more changes being prepared on the side in an attempt to come back and get this game. So that pass just overplayed from Tanzania. So it would be a 100% record by Madagascar over the Tafia Stars in the COSAFA Cup if it remains like this. And then Madagascar will have one game, one day to recover, and they'll be back here against Eswatini. And they win that game, they are probably in a very, very good position to qualify for the next round. Handball. And he's going to need to be careful. He's already on a yellow card, is Ibrahim. He's the Madagascar coach. Wow, that's very malicious. Slaps it away like a volleyball. And then Tanzania will have some days off. 3 days exactly until their next game. They have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so they'll probably take tomorrow as a real rest day to recover. I wonder how much prep had gone into this game, how much strategy they were able to sit down and really speak. Perhaps on the bus on the way when they arrived here at the venue today. But they've had, they've got some football on their legs, as opposed to the barrier up front. That goes Sindo, interested. Madagascar still on the ball. It's a nutmeg there in the process by Mamisoa. Nice intricate passing. Toki, Laliana. Nicholas sends a ball into the air, and then it's recovered once again. This is the young man Ibrahim. Can Tanzania get something now? Pascal Msindo rather. Ibrahim goes long, makes himself available for the head, and then goes down. Referee waves play. Madagascar. It's cut out there as well. So this would be only the third success then by Madagascar over Tanzania. The second in this competition. We've had some World Cup qualifiers against them. Of course, both sides have that at the back of their heads. Those World Cup qualifiers will resume in September. Madagascar are third in their group. That's an inviting ball. It's still available. Not like that. Just sort of hits it out of frustration from the left boot. 15 minutes to go. Just a quarter of 1 hour left here at the Toyota Stadium. A quarter of an hour for Madagascar to hold on. Sometimes for continental games like this, doesn't need to be the prettiest of football, especially not in the group stages by any stretch of the imagination. It just needs to get the job done. It's for Madagascar for large parts of this game now. For almost 3/4 of it, they've been able to do the job. They need to hold on now just for 15 more minutes. Seen three draws so far in the competition. Mauritius and Mozambique drew. Angola and Namibia played to a 1-1 draw. And then there was the one earlier today between Mauritius and Mozambique. But all games have largely been won by this type of margin. We had a couple of 1-0s. Mozambique beat South Africa by 1-0 on the opening day on Wednesday. Lesotho beat Malawi by 1-0 as well in their group game, Group B. It's tight, small margins. It's the smallest margins that win you continental titles. That's the only way that you're going to win a continental showpiece. And Tanzania starting off the back foot here as the last thing on their radar, on their mind. Tanzania are a veteran though. They were the only East African team back in the first competition in 1997, where Zambia were crowned champions, where the maiden competition also held here in South Africa, where Tanzania, interestingly, back in that first competition that they played, were also invited as guests. This year they came into the fray after the Moroccans pulled out due to unknown reasons. But the last COSAFA Cup game played by this Tanzanian side was a 3rd and 4th place playoff against Lesotho back in 2017 that they won. So we want to pick up from there. And for Madagascar, their last game was a 4-1 success against, 4-1 loss rather, to Mozambique in the group stages. Back in 2022, they were in the plate semi-finals, where Madagascar, now they want to get far again. That's very inviting there. That's going to slow the game down now. No need to do anything fancy. There's 11 minutes left on the clock, and they could just run it down. Rather, the last Madagascar game, yes, was that plate semi-final. Of course, they lost out in the quarter-finals in their last edition in 2022. 2024 they didn't enter, 2023 they didn't enter. And prior to that, they were in the semis in 2018. So here's an interesting stat. The past two they've played, they've made it out of the group at least for Madagascar. COSAFA Cups, the past two, whereby they did enter. They're going to need to mark and watch for 10 minutes here, because the Taifa Stars are definitely going to come at them with everything that they've got in the remaining minutes of this Group C game. And one of their furthest visitors for Madagascar was that campaign in 2018, where they went 1-0 down to Lesotho in the bronze medal match. So both these sides, interestingly, their last campaigns that they did play, albeit 2017 and 2022, yielded a top 4 finish. We'll have to see what happens in 2025. But here's a set piece and some potential danger. So far they've kept everything out. Big chance. And the wall does its job. It's back at Tanzania feet. Brilliant. Play this. Ibrahim. Msindo. 3 green shirts around him there. No chance numerically for Msindo to do anything. Ducks. They're trying to open up the counter here. Tokyo. Cristiano's moving. And the defensive job is good, although there's lots of chance and complaints on the side. From a Madagascar perspective, listen to this. Oh, they've won that one back. It's a 3v4 situation. Tokyo. Toki has well watched there. He couldn't even breathe. Took a touch and then they were right on him. So jersey 17 now is going to replace Pascal Msindo. It's Bausi that comes on in his place. A young man that's 25 years old and plays for JKT Tanzania. He's a midfielder that's starting to find his feet in Tanzanian colors. Let's see if he can have any real impact towards the latter stages of this one. I hope you've enjoyed all 3 fixtures which we have brought to you live on SABC Sports. We'll continue bringing you all the action from the COSAFA Cup as it unfolds. Like I said, tomorrow we return to Group B
this is not your responsibility.
in the competition, where Namibia, Malawi, Lesotho, Angola will all be in action for a chance at redemption in Bloemfontein. Group A is also coming to a conclusion with all teams having played 2 games now. So by the end by mid next week, we'll know what the final group standings look like. This group will be wrapped up next week Wednesday. We'll have an indication as to who finishes where. When these sides last met back in 2015, it was Rakotora Mrala that was on the score sheet for Madagascar, as well as Randiara Manjaka were the goal scorers that day for Madagascar. today they've got Tokyo. Toki onto the scorer's sheets. That could be the difference in this first group stage game. Back in that 2015 campaign, they played each other as the second group game. Michael clips one over the top. Oh, he's all alone there, Adam. Just doesn't direct his header goalwards, and perhaps that sums up Tanzania's evening here. 2 more changes. Perhaps the final 2 cards of the coach's sleeve. It's Clavin that makes his way on in that jersey number 19. The Fossa Juniors man of 25 years old. He's currently also sitting right and pretty at the top of the log standings. And Pierre Michael also makes his way on in jersey number 15. The 29-year-old was a league winner last year with Disciples FC. Those are the reinforcements to perhaps close the bolts and screws and make sure that the result is confirmed for Madagascar, whose football is just developing every single time this team plays. The overall COSAFA record for Madagascar is 14 wins, 7 draws, 15 losses. And with this game, it would mean that they've now scored more goals than they've conceded overall in the COSAFA Cup. 40 goals scored today. This is their 40th goal in the COSAFA Cup, and they've conceded 39. So they finally enter into a positive, quote-unquote, goal difference in terms of their overall gameplay here at COSAFA. They had a pretty decent unbeaten run. Their longest unbeaten run in this competition ran from 2017 to 2018, 7 games. It's going to be a yellow card here for the goalkeeper. Another player to be booked by the referee. So far 4 players entering into the book, and Michel is the latest of the recipients of the vouchers here this evening at the Toyota Stadium. Substitute onto the ball, and Madagascar looking for a second. To the bye, they take it. Yeah, now it's in the box. Calls of a handball. Still the hustle and bustle goes. You'd bet that VAR will be looking at this one as to whether that claim for a handball was a valid one, but it's optimistic movement there. No handball as we see it there from that type of angle. Just the corner kick. That's Madagascar going to get 2 minutes of regulated time remaining at the Toyota Stadium. This ground is a good one. You can see they do very good work on it, because I promise it's still going to have lots of football played here until the end of the competition. So here it comes to Madagascar corner. It's away by Nangu. Mamisoa. Makes himself available as an option again. Defender goes down to make that clearance. Chance that could avail itself here. Doesn't hit the target. There's nothing threatening there from the jersey number 15.
Okay, so 5 minutes.
So they could set themselves up quite nicely here if it ends like this and they have a set piece towards the end of this one. I mean, when you chatted to the Tanzania coach in the pre-match conference, he was a guy that was expressing a team that had a little bit of fatigue. There were some signs of fatigue in the way that he elaborated himself in the press conference. So perhaps that's shown itself in how Tanzania have played. Let's see. 5 minutes here are going to be added towards the end for the Taifa Stars to try and conjure up something here against Madagascar. Intricate movement, brilliant play. He has the shot. Oh! It's just on the left side of the goal. That it would have been game, set and match. At least they thought it was game, set and match on the bench. Decent touch just to put it into his stride from the replacement, 21-year-old. I hope you've enjoyed all 3 games here today on SABC Sport, your home of the HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup. Chance Adam again, he down directs his header goalwards and now he kneels down into frustration. Is that the last straw for this Tanzanian team? Tell you what, he hasn't got service. He hasn't received adequate service here today, but with the ones he's had, he's done that with them. It would be over 180 minutes of football for Tanzania without a goal if it ends like this, of course, considering their game last night against Bafana. So it would, their travels to South Africa would have yielded no goals yet, as they wait 3 days for their next one. It's not over till the fat lady sings, so they say. So we'll wait until she does. And in the meanwhile, Tanzania search. And look, a draw would be better than a loss. I tell you what, if you asked them at the beginning of this one if they would have taken 1 point, they probably would have taken it prematurely. Now they're going to have to fight for the 1 point. And they have a set piece. In dangerous position, and the referee goes into his book once again. Yellow card number 6 of the game. He's given 5 on the pitch and 1 to one of the technical members for Madagascar. So now they need to be creative. Now the time is not on their side, and they've put the young Ahmed Pipino over it, the 19-year-old. Packed box. Referee is going to watch that movement. VAR is watching that movement. But all eyes are on this set piece. Can the Taifa Stars produce a moment towards the end? Referee. Yep. I've run out of descriptions. I've said they all over each other like rashes, like cheap suits. They just won't. It's all loving there on the pitch. An intense battle between 2 rivals that have played one another before. They know one another's games. Madagascar have got the number at this stage over Tanzania. They're going to need to do it again here. Nervy finish a little bit here towards the end. Everyone at this Toyota Stadium is on the edge of their seats to see if the Taifa Stars can produce a moment. Ahmed takes a touch, still available, hands up in the air. All of them wanted a penalty there. You bet that the video assistant referee will have a second glimpse at that, although the referee seems to have his on-field decision made. Michael chases it on. Can he profit onto the ball? And what's been said here, there's some excitement from a Tanzanian perspective. Just the offside. And that may as well do it. We're reaching minute number 5 here. Regulator time is up. Madagascar just need to keep it. And there it is! Madagascar win! On the first game of Group C here at the Toyota Stadium in the HollywoodBets COSAFA Cup. Mamisoa will take the man of the match, world the midfield general, but in truth it was an entire team effort from the Barea. They move on and they have the advantage in Group number C. There's only 3 teams in this group and you've got to play every single game as if it's a knockout game. And that's what Madagascar have done here today. They've come and they've played a knockout brand of football that may see them through to the next round. For the Taifa Stars, it's been blanket shots ever since they've landed here in South Africa. Winless on South African turf in the past 24 hours. It's back to the drawing book for the Taifa Stars. It's a team that's fatigued. You can see they've been on the road. It's tiring to be on the road. So they may complain and we may hear those type of considerations in the press conference towards the end. But for now, it's Madagascar that smile at the end of the match day 1 proceedings concluded here on Saturday evening at the Toyota Stadium. And the score at full time between Madagascar and Tanzania is 1-0, a professional scoreline, so they would say. And here is the statistics. They didn't have most of the ball. They didn't need to have most of the ball. 46-54 in terms of possession. Lots of bookings, 5 cards issued overall, 6 to a technical official. But the most important score line at the end is that Madagascar are 1-0 victors here at the Toyota Stadium against Tanzania. 4 shots on target. One of them is all they needed to put it into the back of the net. It was a brilliant shot from Toki. Can't wait to see what the manager has to say towards the end. He said he didn't know them. He didn't have their number or the experience of what they'd be bringing. But he's passed the assignments first time round as the 55-year-old Frenchman. And he will go to bed a very happy man here in Bloemfontein today. So thank you to everyone that's been tuned to SABC Sport for the 3 games. Let's hear what the coaches have to say at full time.
And we're now joined by the coach of Tanzania, Coach Ahmed Suleiman. Coach, a very difficult match. Just your assessment of the 90 minutes.
Yeah, okay. I think it was a good game. Like I said before, we tried to play with fatigue, the way we played yesterday, and we traveled away 8 hours up to here, and then we tried to manage to recover. But that's fine. I can say congratulations for my player. It's not easy to play that situation, but we started badly for the fatigue, and then when the time they're coming, we try to develop, and I think the second half will be better. So created so many chances, but we are not scoring. That's what football is.
And what do you make of the Madagascar team?
Yeah, I think they're good players. Too young, and they try to play compact. So I think it's a good team.
And coach, looking at the result now, it means that you're on the back foot. It makes things difficult for you going forward.
Yeah, I think that still we can continue. So this game is finished. So we expect to come back in the dressing room to sort out the problem, what we have done. And I think the next match we get 3 days to recover will be better for the next game.
Thank you, coach, and all the best in the next game.
Thank you.
Hard luck.
Thank you.
And we now with the winning coach, coach of Madagascar, Coach Coach, congratulations, and just your impressions of the 90 minutes. How did it go for you?
Donc, votre état d'esprit par rapport au match d'aujourd'hui?
Oui, je suis très content. Je suis satisfait de notre prestation, même si c'était difficile, parce qu'on était en difficulté face à une équipe, très bonne équipe de Tanzanie. C'est une bonne équipe, mais la chance était avec nous parce que nous avons su concrétiser notre occasion. On aurait dû tuer le match, mais dommage, on n'a pas pu marquer l'occasion, le deuxième but. Donc après, en deuxième temps, on a beaucoup souffert, mais c'est ça le football. Donc l'essentiel, c'est de 3 points. Voilà.
Okay. So, coach says that he's very satisfied, very happy of what his players produced today. He says that it's a victory that they deserve this win today because they played against a very tough team. The match was very difficult. And in the second half, he says that they could have scored a second goal. And he says that he's a little bit sad about it. They could not score the second goal. But overall, he's more or less happy about what his team has produced today.
And how important was this win at the start of the tournament?
À quel point cette victoire est importante aujourd'hui, à ce stade de la compétition?
Écoutez, parce que c'est difficile, parce que nous avons dans le 3 équipes dans un groupe, donc c'est difficile. Donc le plus important aujourd'hui, c'est de gagner. Donc c'est bien pour nous pour la suite de la compétition, parce que si avec les 3 équipes là, si on a fait match nul, ça va être dur pour le deuxième match et pour la qualification.
Okay, he says that it's a very difficult team group because only 3 teams in the group, and he knows that he was obligated to win today. There was no choice because a loss would mean that their chances to go through the semi-finals would be very reduced, very small. And that's why he's very happy of the win today. He says it was very difficult to play in this kind of group, but he says that for the next match as well, he will try the best to bring the win for his team.
Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
On part en conférence.